Good morning, everyone in the building. It's before 5. We've just caused a disturbance. There'll be someone here to report us soon, but until then, let's see if we can squeeze the news in. That was a rhyme. I'm a poet and was not aware of that fact. Were you? Need a website but want something that's easy and also elegant? Check out Squarespace. This is what we use for our store, epicpants.com. There's lots of templates here you can get started with, and you'll get a free domain if you sign up for a year. Speaking of domains, all you have to do is come here and you can grab your domain and get your website set up. You've got Get access, so you can control virtually everything. We use it for the commerce tools, but maybe you need it for a blog or you just want to have an artistic portfolio. Go to squarespace.com right now to start your free 1-month trial and use coupon code Syndicate to save some money. EVGA, they're on fire recently. Like literally on fire. I think they've been partnering with Samsung. Did you get that joke? Because there's a lot of Samsung fire jokes out there. I'm gonna keep you on your toes. So EVGA, they've been catching on fire. And here's an interesting video that was originally posted by someone. Their name down here, Michael Duncan. And then, WCCF Tech, the purveyors of all things 100% true, sometimes not true. But they've got their hands on this video. Let's just skip over here to what's happened. So apparently they've had some issues with cooling on the VRMs in their memory or whatever it is, the memory circuitry, I believe it is. And this video, oh, see that fire? Ooh, someone's getting fired at EVGA right now. That's what's happening. So there's a little bit of a fire, but let's just break this video down for a second. Okay, there's your fire. Yeah. Flames and everything. Oh my, look at that fire. Notice there's nothing plugged in. The connectors on the GTX 1080 FTW, 2 8-pin connectors, not plugged in. So he says that he was leaving them unplugged for troubleshooting, and I guess it was just pulling enough power straight from the motherboard to catch on fire. So there's already something there that's kind of making me go like, well, what's going on? I mean, yes, it can possibly get enough power and electricity that's being pulled straight out of the the PCI Express socket could start a fire if that's what was going on. Maybe he was overclocking, maybe something was going wrong. He says that it just didn't work anymore and then it caught fire. And there's already been a lot of people complaining about, hey, this EVGA stuff, check this out. It's really freaking hot. There's that, but there's, like other people online posting thermal images of the EVGA GTX 1080, 1070 cards saying, wow, they're getting way too hot. There's no cooling right here. So what EVGA has done, they've said, hey, listen, we're going to give you guys thermal pads. Just come over here. And they're like, hey, they say it's operating within spec, barely. But it's within spec, barely. But they're offering people thermal pads and other things. And they also have some BIOS updates. So if you own one of these graphics cards, go ahead and grab the BIOS update. I don't know what I'm going to do right now because I was kind of on the fence as to whether or not I wanted to grab one of these and play around with it because we've got the Hoth somewhere around here in the office. That's the Hall of Fame edition from Galax, and I freaking love that card. It's fast, ridiculously so. And I wanted to play around with it with some of these, but there's a lot of flame throwing, if you will. Flame throwing? No, this is awful. Anyway, I'm sure you guys have your own opinions, and I'll hear them in the comments. AMD's 8-core Zen packs a wallop, they say. So here's just a leaked performance benchmark showing how it's doing in some different CPU rendering times. Right there it is, stacking up right in the middle of a bunch of these E5 Xeons right here. Somewhere between the E5 2650 version 2 and the 2680 version 2. Those are not extremely fast, processors. Down here on the bottom, these are quite a bit faster. And, I don't know. Like the 5690 is substantially, well, not substantially. It's quite a bit faster there, but let me just bring it up on the screen here. I think one of the things we have to think about here is what is the price going to be? They're way behind. This should have been out like a year ago. They should have mitigated the bulldozer nonsense when they had the server parts with their 8 cores and all that stuff. One of the things that they're doing is they're trying to improve the per CPU performance, and they're doing that by removing all the shared resource nonsense. What they did with the last one, they had a lot of shared pools of cache and resources and that sort of thing, and now they're trying to make them stronger cores, more like the Intel cores. So if the price-performance ratio is there, AMD may be a very viable option for gaming and some rendering and that sort of thing. So I'm really hoping that they, give Intel some competition, because then Intel will finally be forced to do some stuff. Right now they've been very slowly moving forward, like, hey, we're going to increase by a few percentage points. Hey, we're going to make the power a little bit better, power a little bit better again. But I feel like the desktop segment, the Z170 and that sort of thing, maybe the Z270 whenever it comes out, we really need an 8-core right there. Come on, Intel, what the hell? I mean, I've got a 20-core Xeon, but that's over on the X99 Xeon side of things. So when shall we see that? All right, next up, Qualcomm. They're buying everybody. They just keep buying people. Would you say this is risky? Risky? Never mind, it's a bad joke. Amazon, they've been going crazy with all the drone stuff. They've been pushing for FAA regulations to allow them to make deliveries, and they've been doing tests in a lot of different markets, but now they've got a sort of a new idea that they've been pitching and coming up with patents for, and that is putting drones on the shoulders of police officers. And here's the idea. Cop walks up, he's got a little tiny shoulder drone. It's not that small. Or maybe he doesn't walk up, he just sits back in his car and there's a dangerous situation. Well, he's able to launch the shoulder drone with voice commands. The shoulder drone will fly over to the situation and take a better look, and then the officer can flip down a little screen or something. I don't know how that's going to work, but the officer will essentially be able to watch and see what's going on. Furthermore, he'll be able to get a better look. Maybe he's going up and talking to the guy in the car, and while he does that, he pushes a button or says, "The drone, go," and the drone takes off and starts looking around the other sides of the car and all that sort of thing. Maybe he's out, directing traffic. The drone can take off and give him a bird's eye view of the scene around the corner. Maybe someone's lost in the woods or lost, somewhere. The drone can take off. It's small, it's maneuverable, and it can look around and give him or her a better view of the situation. Now, they already have the ACLU. They're looking at this and saying hey, I know what's going to happen. You guys are going to integrate this with facial recognition technology and infringe upon our rights and all that sort of thing. It's going to be an invasion into our privacy. So something like this, you'll have to weigh the benefits and the cost. And there's probably not going to be a middle ground. I mean, if we look at something like this, as we move into the future, things like this are going to happen. What I'm looking, at this and thinking is okay, well, that's cool. They're probably going to have the facial recognition. Attaching these to, officers, yeah, sure. But what about just having, armies of these floating around the city, keeping maps of where people go and what they do, and, just looking for a suspect? Well, send out 20 drones. Why not? Why limit this to just sitting on a police officer's shoulder? I'm not saying I endorse this, but I'm saying that's what the thinking is going to be when they see the technology. I think they've probably already looked at this, but when they look at the small ones that have propellers that are not going to hurt anybody if they crash or whatever like that, why not send out a bunch of drones? And if you want to get your tinfoil hats on, we haven't done that in a while, not in a couple of weeks, why not give them lasers? Let's do it. Why not just remove the police force? The entire thing is run by drones. Just remove the people. They've revolted. It's 17 years in the future. That's it. Singularity is upon us. Maybe 20 years in the future. Singularity is upon us. The robots took over, and the drones they use to hurt us, to police us, and to eliminate us. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm just helping you guys in the comments go crazy with your tinfoil hats there. All right, now it's time to go over to Justin, and we're going to talk about some video games with Justin and Logan. So Justin and Logan, over to you. You guys may or may not know Justin. We brought him on for his knowledge of video games and also board gaming, tabletop gaming, and just culture in general.
Yeah, so that sounds like stuff I know.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about some gaming things. Total Biscuit here has tweeted this little Activision quote here.
Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered have both been released on the Windows 10 store. And the Windows store, I guess, is not just
whatever it is.
It's the Windows store. It's not just Windows 10 only, but that's what they prefer it is. Can I play those games against people on other PC platforms? And the answer is no.
Kind of like with Gears and Forza, but no.
Yeah.
But I mean, Microsoft's really been pushing that whole let's go towards platform what's an agnosticism.
Yeah, platform agnosticism.
You guys may have seen our video on that where we sort of talk about the idea of the future, but it's interesting that Activision, because I would imagine that Microsoft would kind of be pushing for that because they want people to be in the Microsoft ecosystem regardless of what platform they're on. That's really what they're I think that's really what Satya Nadella is thinking right now is when he's telling the guys at Xbox things. He's like, why don't we just have Xbox be the platform and let them live wherever they are, and as long as they're in our garden, we don't care.
Just game.
Yeah.
Look at roses.
Yeah, we don't care what shoes they're wearing as long as they're walking in our garden.
Right. So this seems it seems more like that part of the problem now towards achieving this platform agnosticism is getting all the companies to be on the agnostic train, I guess.
I mean, you have to think, like, you have Activision, you've got EA and all these big mega Goliath companies. They might be thinking, well, we can create our own platform, and that'll be how you cross-play in the future. But I'm not sure if they're going to be cooperating completely, but, I mean, they don't make operating systems, so they don't really make good platforms anyway, whatever. But
really.
So I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see how it goes.
This is what the drones want us to argue about. So next up,
speaking of
Steam store has now started to require that all their developers actually post only screenshots from their game when they have all their files and rendered. So no pre-rendered images,
right.
Nothing that you wouldn't see in the actual game. So this is kind of neat for the consumer, because they now know exactly what they're getting. You're not going to see a screenshot and be like, oh, wow, this looks totally like a game I want to play, and then start playing the game and be like, oh, this didn't happen there at all.
Well, I will say, to be fair to, Steam and Valve, they did say that, in the screenshot section at the top, that has to be screenshots. But they said, listen, all the other spaces on your Steam page can be used for creative assets, renders, or whatever. But specifically, it's mainly, I think some people are like really going, holy crap, yes, you're still going to get the rendered stuff, but it's just going to turn the screenshot section into just that. Only screenshots of actual gameplay.
Here's gameplay.
Representative
this is what you're going to get.
You get this.
You still get the box art and everything everywhere else, because, I mean, there's still,
Yeah, you get all the artwork.
Still gotta look good. And even Steam and stuff has gone back and been like, well, we realized that we didn't do that on Dota, so we're gonna fix that. So it's great that they're also like following suit with it too. They're not just like making it for everyone else and then rising above it.
Right, like, we don't count.
No,
it's our thing.
So, and that's one of the nice things about Steam, is they're always like, yeah, no, it's for us too. Don't worry, everyone.
So the new Tomb Raider game has been leaked.
Yes, someone on a Montreal train, I forget what they're, but they took a picture of someone making a presentation for the newest Tomb Raider game in the series, which is going to be called Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Is that mysterious or is that sad? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'm really hoping that
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, it's not going to turn into like, here's a game that takes place when Lara Croft, when she is 50 and living in an apartment by herself and smoking cigarettes and drinking gin all day with her 50 cats. So then, Lara Croft's boobs that everyone super adores are like knee saggers and everything like that. So hopefully it's not that Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Hopefully it's actually her still hunting people.
That's what I want to play. It's more like the whole indie... The indie introspective thing where you show up and you're like, what's your game about? And it's like, it's about loneliness. And you're like, that's what I want to play. Yes, that's why I leave my lonely life, so I can get online and play a game about loneliness. Or I get on my computer and just sit there and be like, this is a game about walking through the park.
It's about Lara Croft looking at photo albums of her previous Tomb Raider adventures and then wondering if she has cancer from the cigarettes she's smoking or not yet.
And then she gets really dizzy when she gets drunk, and that's like the action sequence.
And then she dies alone in her apartment with only her cats. So
we've gathered all that from this screenshot here, taken on a train in Montreal. Pretty sure that's 100% what the game is about.
It's really counterintuitive to the rest of their game series. It's kind of weird.
I don't even know. Hey, you guys want a new segment? I think we need a new segment.
We do need a new segment.
So, you want to introduce this one?
I sure do.
You do it.
So,
it's your thing.
Yeah, it is my thing. So, one of the things that we're going to be doing on Crit Show every week is showing off either a board game or a new indie game. So, they're going to see some titles switching between Analog, which is my show that's going to be about board games, or Indie Watch, which is going to be with Pistol talking about some new cool indie games out there. So this week it's going to be Analog, and over to you, handsome Justin.
You have died of dysentery. Hi everyone, welcome to Analog, the show that talks to you about board games, all the low-tech kind of stuff. So a little bit about Analog. This isn't gonna be one of those board game review things where I sit there and I take the instructions and I read for you verbatim how to play the game, because that's really boring. I want to tell you about a game. I want to explain to you why it's fun, why it's not, and some of the cool features about it. The game that I have chosen today, in honor of our move to Oregon and everything, I have chosen, this is based off the computer game Oregon Trail that you all probably played in your computer lab when you were kids growing up. They follow it very closely. They definitely did their research on it and stuff. The overall objective of the game is that you're trying to get from Independence, Missouri, all the way to the Willamette Valley, Oregon, which is where we are now. Oh my God, guys. You choose your list of people and you start going through town. How you do that actually is you play different trail tiles and then you react accordingly to what happens on the trail. Like Oregon Trail, the video game, all kinds of really terrible shit is gonna happen while you're going through all these different, as they call them, calamity cards. Anything from the classic dysentery all the way to your oxen have died, or there's extreme cold. A lot of different things that if you don't solve these problems right away, your whole party's gonna die. The objective of the game is to have one person make it to Willamette, Oregon. So it doesn't have to be the whole party gets there, it doesn't even have to be most of you guys get there, just one of you has to limp your way into Willamette Valley at the end. So you have to build stacks of 5 cards in order to get all the way through, and you have to do this 10 times, which is actually a bit of an undertaking. When calamities occur, people will throw different resources, or supplies as they're called, at them until they go away. Things like, oh, I need spare parts, oh, okay. And this is a nice cooperative game. Everyone's working together on this one because you're all trying to get there. The only thing that this is really missing from the original game is the option to go out hunting and kill a bear and then waste all 200 pounds of food and just leave it there. But that's besides the point. The bigger thing about this game is it is tough. This game is not designed for everyone to sit down and be like, oh, let's play a happy cooperative game together. This will be really fun. This is not the game for you. If you want a game that's actually a good challenge, there's some errata and things like that on their website, which we can post links to and stuff if you are actually interested in buying this game. A lot of people are gonna say that they don't like this game because it's really, really freaking tough. The more people that you have, the easier it is, because that's more bodies you have to throw at situations before people start dying left and right. But it is totally possible, and I've seen it happen on multiple occasions, for you to have a person that dies turn 1 and you're just out of the game, which is kind of the downside, because then you have someone sitting at the table kind of just waiting for everyone else to finish the game. But they do have a nice little consolation prize for the first person to die. You get to be the banker, the shopkeeper, whatever you want to call it. It's the person that hands out the supply cards to everybody else and wonders why they're still playing this game. Oregon Trail was a Target exclusive, but it is now available on Amazon, so if you're looking to get it, and there might be some other stores here and there that pick them up, but generally the best place to get them is online. Ultimately, should you buy this game? Should you play this game? Maybe. If you're looking for a challenge and you're looking for something fun and nostalgic to play with your friends, this is really, really great, especially if you're from that generation that played this on their computers and everything way back in the day. You're definitely gonna get a kick out of this. If you're a youngin' and have never heard of the Oregon Trail or Pixels or things like that, you might find this game to just be tedious more than anything. So if you want a good nostalgia kick and have a lot of fun and watch your friends die left and right, get this game. If you're looking for something that you can revisit time and time again and be a game that's like a valued family treasure, this is not the game for you. I'd probably play it 4 or 5 times before I got tired of it. So there you go. The Oregon Trail card game. Try not to die of dysentery picking it up.
We all like tech. Why not get a .tech domain? If you go over to get.tech right now and use coupon code CRIT1 to get 1 year for only $3.99 and use coupon code CRIT10 to get 10 years for $49.99. They've sold 200,000 so far, so run over and grab your .tech domain right now. Thank you, Justin. You know what time it is right now? Does this give you a freaking clue? Logan's inbox is back. Listen, guys, I want your questions. And we're not going to do it on the forum like we used to. You can email me, inbox@CritTV. You goddamn right, I got it right that time. I didn't say the other thing. No one's here to listen. There's no one over there. There's no one over there. I want my hand to be on camera. I have to do this because it's too close. Now I look like I'm... I want to answer your questions, and I'll answer about anything. We can talk about hardware, audio is kind of my jam. Did I just say that? Stop. We can talk about your love life. I can very much help you with that. There's a lot of things I can't fix, but I can fix your marriage. You want to talk about politics? Shove it up your ass. We ain't going to talk about that, but send me a question anyway. Maybe I will. I just contradicted myself. I might do that. There's a parasite that lives in my neck that makes me say things. All right, let's answer some of these questions. First one from Alex. Alex here. I want to ask about some Radeon video cards. Here's my question. Shall I buy the R9 290 used or a new RX 470 4GB? It's about the same price in Russia. Oh, he's in Russia. I've been reading this incorrectly. But I think I'll buy it on eBay from foreign seller. Also, I would love to see a new PC build on your channel. Can I be racist? Can white people be racist against other white people from other places?
Yes, they can, Logan.
Whoa. Whoops. God. Show's canceled. I would go with the 290. Even though it's kind of a beast and a little bit older and it uses more power and has more heat. It's not quite as new. It's just faster, dude. So, I mean, if you can get them for about the same price, the 290 is going to give you more horses power. You like horses? I like horses. Horsepower, that's the new graphics card measurement. You heard it here first. All right, next one is from, who's it from? Emmett. Sorry, I know you've been busy with the changes in the game development with Zweihander. I don't know how to say that. It's my game, I don't even know how to say it. My music. Has your music been put on the back burner for now, or do you have something up your sleeve for the fans? Your dark synth-infused Hell's Valley track off your last album had me eager to see what you had coming next. I have like 7 or 8 songs ready for the next album, and they're all dark synth, so you'll be excited to hear that. I will send you a secret track so you can hear what the progress has been like. But yes, everything's been on the back burner because nonsense and drama have taken up 80% of my time, but now that that's over, I will be back sitting down, creating music again. I really miss making music. All right, next one is from Steve Madden, and I think that's the guy that makes the shoes. Hutch, the guy that makes the shoes, just wants to say sorry that he mixed you up with Justin on Discord.
I'll never forgive him.
You're not forgiven, sir. Maybe you should send some shoes, Steve Madden. I want some green ones. I like those Kelly Green shoes you guys make. They still make them in Kelly Green? Who's Steve Madden? Avery says, what was the inspiration for the new name on Crit TV? Is it short for Critical Television? Why is it Crit TV if it isn't on TV? Legitimately confused, Avery. I'm confused. I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore. Twitch TV. Is Twitch TV on TV? Why did it call Twitch TV? Is Justin TV on TV? Well, why is Justin... You've seen Justin TV? It's what Twitch used to be. So Crit is an old D&D term, or it's actually an old RPG term for like critical hit. Like, oh, you rolled a 20, it's a crit, or whatever. You rolled 100, that's a crit, typically. And also in video games, if you guys have played games, you know about crit hits. You know, you hit someone in the head or the neck. Oh, it's a crit. Nice crit, man. Do they say that? Anybody say that? No. No one's ever said that. Ever. Not in that voice, anyway. So that's what a crit is, but I figured it would be good for, like, critical information, critical news, critical reviews, just whatever. Be fun. Plus, it's a 4-letter domain name, Crit TV. It's very easy to remember, very easy to talk about. What's this? Very easy to tell people. Let's just end, guys. Would you consider coming to New Zealand? We have mountains. And is there any more information about the Zweihander game? Cheers, all the best. So the Zweihander game was kind of put on the slowdown due to all the transition period, we'll call it, due to the transition period. We've got a Kickstarter tentatively planned for around March, and we pushed it back. We were going to do one in December. Got a lot of assets. The game is playable. A lot of things are working. Some of the guys who left took some assets with them, but we've still got like 10 people that are helping out and volunteering. And when the game hits Kickstarter, we'll employ most of those guys, probably all of them, if we, depending on like what level we hit. So we'll try to do all we can. We've got the developer doing some updates. So we'll have some updates on the Crit Show as often as possible, have him chime in and show you what's going on with the game. So expect it, like Anonymous. With the move to Crit TV, will you still be doing hardware reviews, or are you doing purely what you said you would be doing, introducing Crit TV video? I summarized that, but that's from Justin M. No, we're still going to do hardware reviews. Still got some stuff to review lying around everywhere. I think the main thing is I'm going to maybe shift the focus of the big picture over to, culture and stuff that's more, broad perspective instead of things that are like very momentary, if that makes any sense. But we're still going to cover this stuff. I'm not going to neglect it. But I don't want every single video to be a hardware review. There was some point in time when we were doing Tech Syndicate back in the day when I got it, we were always about, doing special segments and introspective pieces, how-tos and that sort of thing. And there's one point where we just got flooded with hardware from all the vendors. And someone from Germany wrote an email and he was like, "What are you doing? What's happening? This is not, I can get this anywhere on the internet. There's a million people doing this. There was something special here." And from that point on, I felt like we kind of slid from what we originally wanted to be. And this is really my way to get us back into that original vision that I had. And unfortunately, people had to part ways and all that kind of thing to do that. But now I think we've got something very pure in two different directions. You got, Wendell doing his pure thing and us doing our pure thing. And without the, I guess, rough edges and all that stuff, we could just go and do it. So stay tuned. If you like the content, amazing. If you don't watch it. Very simple. What do you think? All right, last one is from Devin. Beyond the Void is approaching final completion finally. So Devin is a member of our forum, has been around for a long time, working on a video game. He's actually a very talented little developer. I met him up in Seattle. Anyway, he said he's curious as to weapons people might like to see in it. It's a dungeon crawler where you can play alone or online with or against friends, controlling the dungeon or crawling. Damn. Nice. So what I'm going to do, Devin, if you're watching this, put an an article up on the website asking people, and I will just link to it in this video so people can go and they can look at your game, they can download the demo or whatever you've got up. I think you have some of the latest content up online on your website. So go ahead and throw it on Crit TV on the forum, and we'll come and hang out, check it out, and make some recommendations. Kind of curious to play that game. He's been working on it for a while. Anyway, that is it for our show. Get over to the forums, Crit TV, and hang out. We've got a really awesome community. I'm extremely excited. I've been just hanging out in there myself, being like, everyone's cool. This is making me happy. So thanks, guys. We'll see you guys on Discord, all the social stuff over here. And if you appreciate what we're doing, we do have Patreon set up. It's a tip jar. That's basically what it is. There may be a couple of perks in there and that sort of thing, but just go check it out. We removed all the promises because a lot of the content that was promised we're just going to do regularly, and that's just the way it's going to be. And if you like what we're doing our thing, head over there and say thank you. Otherwise, enjoy the content, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Listen, right now it's Logan's inbox, and listen. Listen.
We're listening.
You guys are fucking listening. I don't feel like you're listening. All right.